Hello everyone, welcome back to the Carry Shelf. You're joining me on a warm, slightly cloudy day in Brussels. It's not raining, it's fine for me. So welcome to new subscribers and welcome back to those who already know me. This is the Carry Shelf in Brussels. So I thought I would just do a little bit of a fun video today, and that's looking at kind of like tarot and oracle decks that I'm loving right now. Actually, it's one tarot deck and several oracles and this is apart from like the monthly review that I do, the monthly deep dive. This is something a little bit different. Now, strangely, I realized I had made a mistake in the last video I'd just done, which was on deck FOMO. I did this really long video and in it I said, I don't need decks. And then somebody pointed out, well, as professional readers, we need decks. So it was like, that is true. I don't consider myself a professional reader as such. I do readings where I basically get paid for the service, definitely, but I don't do it more on the basis of that's my livelihood. That is something secondary, just to be transparent. But I do enjoy it, and I do need decks for that. So it was a bit kind of like a, oh yeah, moment. But my response to the whole, how many decks do I need? I think I was more trying to answer that like, you know, I basically have more than what I need, and that I wanted to raise. Like, I don't need 100 decks or 150 decks. I think we're close to 150, 180 right now. I don't need that. So that was where I was coming from, and hopefully that makes sense. So going on from there, I just thought I would talk about a few decks because it got me thinking. Somebody said to me today, I asked them for a topping. They said, why don't you talk about decks that you're really loving right now? And then I thought, what about decks that I'm using with other people or for myself apart from my monthly dive? And then I thought, yes, indeed. So I've done a few readings this month already, and the deck that has come back from the grave, it has come back from the grave, and it is kind of like coming all cylinders flying or whatever, all cylinders on fire, whatever it's called, is The Good Tarot by Carlot Baron Reed and artwork by Jenna Della Grottaglia. Now this is a Hay House mass market deck. I think it retails around 20 euros right now. I have not had a great relationship with this deck. It's not my favorite, but people love it, and I have to say the readings are very, very clear. And I've realized people, I don't want to keep saying people, but the clients or the person I'm reading for, the querent, they feel safe for some reason. I find there's a feeling of safety, a feeling of like, you know, there's something about this deck which clicks for a lot of people, and I find that that's really important for me as well, that it clicks for them. These are the backs. I etched mine in this kind of like antique gold, whatever. And so these are the images. It's a very well-known deck, and it's not my favorite, to be quite honest with you. I think that this is more of an oracle deck, and I think it would be amazing as an oracle deck, but I've used her as a tarot deck and she is doing the job. So let's take it from there. So I bought this a few years ago, and at first I regretted it, but I've been making use of her, and I'm someone that really believes that when there's like a good price in the use of it, you know, there's the use of it like makes it worth the money. It's something, and she has definitely done that. You know, she's been value for money, and again, you know, she does read very, very well, very clearly. I think one of my beefs with this deck is that in some of the cards have been astrological associations been placed which are incorrect. There's no other way to put it, and it really is a bugbear for me. I mean, even right now, some of the astrological associations I'm seeing with cards, sometimes they're incorrect or they're so far from the original meaning, it really annoys me. But okay, I'm just gonna keep going with it. So anyway, so yeah, but you know, she's reading really well as a tarot deck, so I will stop complaining, stop being grateful, because the deck does deliver very, very good readings. So, you know, that's important. And clear guidance, solutions, understanding. If a deck is doing all of that, it's worth it. So yeah, so there you go. So going on from there, a deck that I've really, really loved and has been, I'm so happy I got her was just a few months ago. I went and bought, it was only last month actually, I bought Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia Kate Peters, Barbara Meikle John Free, artwork by Lisbeth Cheever Gesserman. And I wanted to mention that because I realized later she's the same artist who did the Divine Feminine by Oracle by Megan Watterson. So it's actually the same artist. But I really have loved this deck. I think she's a very straightforward Oracle card deck. I think you would get the same, I'm guessing, from, let's say, Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed, or the map or something like that, Enchanted Map. I think it's going to be like the same stuff. But, you know, I've got this one and I wanted to get this one. These are the backs. And I just really love this duo. I really like these authors. And this has been just such a clear reader. On point, the images are great, they're relatable. You know, when I use her with, let's say, the Good Tarot, I get some very clear readings. I just find that the artwork blends very well with some other mass market decks that I have. And it says Page of Fire and then there's Truth. And, you know, it's just, and you can just see how they bounce off each other so well. But, you know, again, I just find that this deck, it says Financial Health there, and this one is Nine of Earth. I mean, that's synchronicity. So anyway, I really love this deck. There is a spread in here called, by the authors, called I can't remember the name of the spread. Anyway, it's basically, it's 3 cards laid out, very simple. It's issue, what's the issue, what's hidden, what's the truth. As simple as that. I've been using that and waterfalling it then, and it has revealed some fantastic readings that I've done with people. I know some people say that they see Oracle as secondary to Tarot, and perhaps that's some people's experience. For me, Oracle is really like, it's standalone. It's just as valuable, and sometimes I just want to do Oracle readings. So I don't know how else to put it. That's my own personal approach, and it's worked, and I've gotten some really great readings in the last month that I've been doing with her, with others, with myself. Just like, you know, I love it when, like I say this, you know, I need always some bread and butter decks, and I need that kind of like, or what in the US you would call, is it like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I think that's what you call them. You know, I need that kind of like meat and potatoes decks, right? That's what you would say. I always say bread and butter. I need those kind of decks. I just need, like, you know, when in Belgium we get a bag of fries. Let's keep it simple. Bag of fries and some sauce. And it's a bit like that, you know, those kind of decks which just go straight to the point. And this deck has really delivered on point. And for me, when a deck does that, it's value. You know, it's value for money for me. So there you go. So that is the Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meikle John Free, artwork by Lisbeth Cheever Gesserman. Okay, going on from that one, I just want to touch upon a couple of other decks, a few other decks that I'm really loving. I really like Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. It has been an amazing addition to my collection. I really would like to get their new deck coming out, her new deck coming out with the same artist. The artist is, I don't want to butcher her name. About the illustrator, hold on, let me just go. Kinga Bricci is a Hungarian artist who has lived with her American husband's son in the US since August 1995. And then there's about the artist. But I wanted to mention it because I do know that Kinga uploaded a short reel of the new deck coming out, and I was like, I'm for it. That's a must for me. I really like Stacey DeMarco's decks. I like also, she does a calendar. I don't have it for this year, but I think that I like sometimes these products which are quite straightforward. I'm someone that sometimes has a lifestyle which I don't have time to do all of the fancy stuff. So sometimes I just want something very, very straightforward where I can see, like, say, the lunar cycles, I can see events coming up and stuff like that. And, you know, unless you're going to make one at home, which is also possible, do one with just a ring binder, which many people do. There's also now, I know Stacey DeMarco does her calendar, which some people find helpful. And I find it very affordable as well. It's about 16 euros, which is, you know, it's not bad. So anyway, yeah. And again, you know, these decks will pair well together with each other. They will. They kind of like, you know, you just, you know, they do have it. And I think it's because it says protection here, and I've got 9 of fire. All about standing up for ourselves, and we're protected. Oh, wow. Look at that, huh? Or the other way around. Yeah, anyway, can't show you that too well, but there you go. So yeah, so really loving this deck and what it's offered, and yeah. So yeah, so that was the Stacey DeMarco Queen of the Moon Oracle. I always say to people, it's good to have a lunar deck, even if you're someone that doesn't work with the lunar cycles, because sometimes in a reading, a lunar deck, shuffled of course, and all sorts of things, is a great one for timing, energies and timing. And, you know, of course, that's if you're working with lunar energies, you know. But I think a lot of people miss that trick with lunar cards and lunar decks. So, you know, that's something to consider. Like, you know, how am I working with this deck when it comes to, how am I doing readings when it comes to timing and energies, what's beginning, what's ending, what's waxing, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think a good lunar deck, even starting off with a mass market, I'm trying to put this together again, even starting off with a mass market is worth investigating. I will now show you, which one is the next one after this? Oh, that's a bit of a mess. I will now show you another one, which is an all year round staple, which is my Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards by, again, Barbara Meikle-John Free and Flavia Kate Peters, illustrated by Richard Crooks. This deck I bought for my birthday last year, and there's no other way to put it. I love this deck because it reminds me of home. This is like imagery. It's for me very circa 2002, when Harry Potter was just getting big in the UK, and then, you know, and 2002, 2003, the books, you know, and then of course the films come a bit later. But yeah, this is that kind of like vibe that it's got, and look at the beautiful, I love these cards, I really do. This is on my altar space all the time. So I know some people kind of like, there's a bit of a tarot snobbery, I don't know how else to put it, but there's a bit of a tarot snobbery against cards and decks like these. I am like all for it, I'm like, bring it on. So I really like this deck. It brings out my inner witch. All of my Wicca side comes out. I don't know how else to put it. It really reminds me of home. It reminds me of, you know, those feels right at the end of summer, especially like, you know, when we've got those hills and they start to take on that very crisp yellow kind of like burnt look, because, you know, we're right at the end of summer and they're all dried up and they haven't had like proper rain for ages. See, that's that goes there. But yeah, it just reminds me a lot of home, and it's got all these symbols, you know, like, you know, we've got the chalice here. It's like magic in a deck for me. Now I do know that again, Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meikle-John Free are releasing another deck, so I'll be getting that one as well, because I like to make sure that I get decks which I'm going to use. I know that sounds, again, I say it, but when they end up sitting in the corner and it doesn't matter how lovely they are, it irks me. So that's why I'm really, really picky with all the indie decks, because I'm like, if I'm not going to use it that much. But so yeah, so there you go. So Spirit, and it says Initiation. I just think it's a great deck. You know, I don't see enough decks where it has things like Ritual and Invocation. Now, just as an FYI, I've just remembered, I don't know if anybody likes Sharina Starr's decks. She's got one called Galactic Stars, and I know she had one called Fortune Telling Stars, and then that got discontinued, and I was so like annoyed because it got discontinued just like the week before. I was thinking, oh, I want to get that deck. That's been revamped and it's being released in November. So if you like Sharina Starr's stuff, you might want to check it out on Book Depository, because I know it's already showing up that it's going to be released, I think, right at the end of November. And you know, again, I think it's very kind of like similar vibes to this deck, so I love her stuff too. I think the deck is called, again, Fortune Telling Cards. So yeah, so having a lot of fun with this one. There you go, tarot cards. And then it's got its own deck in there. But these are oracle cards. But there you go. But I love it anyway. It's all good. Yule, Letha. It's got all the major Sabbats. You can tell like I'm obsessed with this deck because like I want to show you all the cards. Look at this one. Watchtower of the East, Spring. And where's the one with Summer? Hang on, let me just show you the one with Summer because they're just so pretty. They're just so pretty. Oh, there it is. Watchtower of the South, Summer. Look at that, so gorgeous. It's like stepping into its own little garden. Now, I do know that this is part of a series. There's the Witches' Familiars, and then there's the plant one called Herb something, Witches' Kitchen Wisdom or something like that. Kitchen Wisdom or something like that. And yeah, so I'm all for those decks. And I think I'm going to stop there and wrap it up. So I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend wherever you're doing. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me with all these lovely cheesy decks that make me smile. And you know, oracle decks that kind of like, you know, when I just want quick answers and I want to help someone and they've asked me for a reading, whatever, and I just want to cut straight to the chase and they want to go like on the go kind of thing. These are some of the decks I've been using right now, and I just thought I'd share that. So have a wonderful weekend wherever you are, and I'll pull one of these cards out again because I just love them. I find them so pretty. I want to end with one right next to me. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous as well. So take care now. Have a nice weekend. Bye.